Good morning, children. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Academia Ambala. Children, this is your computer period and we are going to start lesson number 4, that is keyboard. What is a keyboard? Keyboard is a board on which many buttons are there and these buttons are pressed to do some task. Children, you must have seen a music keyboard. On a music keyboard, there are many buttons and by pressing each and every key, different sound comes out of it. Same way, there is a computer keyboard. On computer keyboard, there are many buttons and by pressing these buttons, different tasks happen and these buttons are also called keys. So in this chapter, we will be learning about computer keyboard. So let us start this chapter. Lesson number 4, keyboard. In this chapter, we will be covering following topics: keyboard, alphabet keys, number keys, function keys, symbol keys, arrow keys, special keys like enter key, space bar, backspace key, delete key, caps lock key and shift key. Let us start this chapter. Hi children, you have already studied about keyboard in class 1. Let us learn more about it and its keys. Keyboard. A keyboard is an important part of a computer. It has many buttons which are called keys. These keys are pressed to enter words or numbers into a computer. These keys are also used to give instructions into a computer. Children, you can see an image of keyboard here on this page. There are many buttons on it and these buttons are called keys. So, we will be studying about these different types of keys in this chapter. Now, we will revise the uses and functions of some keys like the alphabet keys, space bar, backspace key and the enter key. Let us have a look. See, keys. There are different types of keys on this picture. The first image is here, that is alphabet keys. We have studied all these keys in the previous class. We have studied about all these keys in class 1. Alphabet keys. If you remember, alphabet keys are the keys on which ABCD alphabets are written. And these keys are used to type text, type names. Then is arrow key. Arrow keys are marked with arrows on it. There are 4 arrow keys and these arrow keys are used to move the cursor up, down, right and left. This we have already studied previous year. Number keys. Number keys are the keys on which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 0 are written. There are 10 number keys on the keyboard. But there are 2 sets of number keys on the keyboard. Then is symbol keys. Symbol keys, if you see, there are 2 things written on a key. One up and the second is down. The upper one is the symbol and the down is the number key or some other key. Then is function keys. Function keys are marked from F1 to F12. We will be learning about all these things in this chapter. Special keys. Special keys are the keys which are used for some special purpose, like enter. Enter key is a special key. Shift key, caps lock key, delete key, space bar key, backspace key and control key. These all are special keys. We will learn about all these keys in this chapter. First of all, we will start with alphabet keys. Children, alphabet keys there are 26 alphabet keys marked with A to Z. These keys help to type words and sentences. See, you can see here, you can count even. These are all 26 in numbers. These are alphabet keys. You can see here, these are not in a proper sequence. You cannot see here A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These are marked Q, W, E, R, T, Y and so on. So the keyboards which these days we are using with the computer are called QWERTY keyboard because they have Q, W, E, R, T, Y sequence, not A, B, C, D. That's why these are called QWERTY keyboards. You can see here a complete keyboard is here on the screen, and you can see here two hands are there. With these hands you can type. We can type using these alphabet keys. These are all called alphabet keys. They are 26 in numbers that you have to remember. Number keys. The keys marked with digit 1 to 9 and 0 are the number keys. They are 10 in number. They are used to type numbers and digits. You can see in the picture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 0. Why not 10? Why not 11? Because with the help of 0 you can make number 1, 0, 10, 2, 0, 20. When you want to write numbers, you can make big numbers with the help of these 10 numbers. So that is why these are from 1 to 0. Number keys are present at two places on the keyboard. On the upper row of the alphabet keys, on the right of the keyboard, this is called the numeric keyboard. See here, in this keyboard you can see there are numbers on two places. One on the upper side of the alphabet keys and second on the right hand side of the keyboard. These are called number keys. When you want to use the numbers on the keypad on the right side of the keyboard, you have to use, first of all you have to press num lock. With the blue arrow it is marked here. This button is called num lock. So before using these numbers, first of all you have to press this num lock. After pressing this num lock, you can use these numbers. Otherwise you will not be able to use these numbers. But for using these upper numbers 1 to 0, there is no special key. Simply you type, when you press these numbers will be printed on the screen. So how many numbers are there? 10 numbers are there on the keyboard, but 2 sets of numbers are there on the keyboard. Function keys. The topmost row on the keyboard marked as F1 to F12 are the function keys. Each of these keys is used for some specific task or function. You can see on the keyboard from F1 to F12 keys are there, and these are called function keys. When you go in the higher classes, you will learn how to use these function keys. You can see here on the keyboard F1 to F12, very clear picture this is. From F1 to F12, all these keys are called function keys, and these are always used with a combination of some other key. So when you go to some higher classes, you will learn about these function keys. Symbol keys. These keys are also present on the alphabet keys or number keys. These keys are marked with digits as well as symbols. So type the symbols like @ %, ampersand, star, plus. We need to press the shift key along with that symbol key. Children, you can see here many symbol keys are, there is a picture of symbol keys under this text. These keys have two things printed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 is already printed, but above these numbers there are some special symbols printed. So how to use these numbers? When I Press 1, 1 will be written. When I press 2, 2 will be written. How to write these numbers, these symbols which are printed above? For this, you have to press shift key along with these keys. See here. This is a shift key on the right side, left side, and this is the shift key on the right side. When you want to print the symbols which are printed above the numbers, what you have to do? You press shift key and press 1. Exclamation sign will be printed. You press shift key and 2. At the rate will be printed. You press shift key with 3. Hash will be printed. Press shift key and 4. Dollar will be printed. Press shift key and 5. Percentage will be shifted. Press shift key and 7. Ampersand will be printed. Press shift key and 8. Star will be printed. So for printing these symbols, you have to press shift key along with the key on which this symbol is written. Arrow key. There are 4 arrow keys which are used to move the cursor up, down, left and right. Now one word is here, cursor. What is cursor? Cursor is a blinking line on the screen which tells where the alphabet or number will be written. A blinking line on the screen is there which tells us whatever we are going to type, where it is going to be printed on the screen. That blinking line is called cursor. To move that cursor up, down, left and right, these arrow keys are used. This is up arrow. It is used to move the cursor upward. This is down arrow. It is used to move the cursor downward. This is right arrow. It is used to move the cursor one character right. This is left arrow. It is used to move the cursor one character left. Arrow keys. You can see the arrow keys here. Here it is. You can see the location of the arrow keys on the keyboard. These are near the numpad. This is the numpad which we read earlier. So near the numpad, the arrow keys are situated on the keyboard. Special keys. These keys are used to perform some particular functions. First is the special key. There are many special keys on the keyboard. The first key which we are going to study, that is enter key. It is used to move the cursor to the next line. Children, when we type on the screen using the keyboard and we want to move the cursor to the next line, what we have to do? We have to press the enter key. It is also known as return key. Enter key is also known as return key. There are 2 enter keys on the keyboard. You have to remember this thing. There are 2 enter keys on the keyboard. See, there are different, enter key have different shapes. This is of stair sort of key is there. This is enter key. This is again enter key. 2 keys are there on the keyboard. You can see here on the picture. One enter key is here with the alphabet keys and the second enter key is with the numpad, on the numpad. 2 enter keys are there on the keyboard. Space bar. This is the longest key on the keyboard. If you press the space bar, it will give a blank space to the right of the word. Space bar key is the longest key on the keyboard. This you already have studied in class 1. Let us write a sentence. Children, when we are writing a sentence, I like to study computer science. After I, there is a space. After like, there is a space. After to, there is a space. So to put these spaces, we need to press the space bar. Do you notice the gaps in this sentence? These gaps come by pressing the space bar. First press I, then press space bar. Then type the word like and then press the space bar again. In this manner, you can complete the sentence. To put a space, we need to press the space bar, and space bar is the longest key on the keyboard. Here you can see clearly on this picture the longest key. See, around this space bar all the keys are small, but the longest key on the keyboard is the space bar. Backspace key. Backspace key is the key marked with the back arrow. It is used to erase the letter to the left of the cursor. See, here you can see in the example PMPP is written, and after the second P, green cursor is there. If you want to remove this P, this extra P, what you have to press? You have to press backspace key. Backspace key will remove the extra P from here. To the left of the cursor, it will remove the character which is to the left of the cursor. So backspace is used to remove the character to the left of the cursor. You can see it on the back keyboard. Backspace is the blue colored key is the backspace key, and it is marked with the arrow to the left side. Means the left of the cursor, the character to the left of the cursor will be erased using the backspace key. Delete key. This key is also used to erase the character, but to the right side of the cursor. You can also delete selected texts and graphics using this key. Now see here. You can see in this picture PMP cursor P. The cursor is before the last P. Now if you press delete key, the last P will be deleted. So the delete key erases the character to the right of the cursor, whereas the backspace deletes the character to the left of the cursor. This thing you have to keep in mind. See delete key. You can see the location of the delete key on the keyboard. It is under insert key. Delete key marked with green color. Caps lock key. This key is used to write the alphabet in capitals or small letters. Keyboard has a light for the caps lock that indicates whether the caps lock is on or off. Children, when you press the caps lock key, one light is there which will lit on your keyboard. When the light is on, the keyboard will write the letters in capital letter. And when you again press the caps lock, the light will be off. In that case, whatever you are typing, that will be in small letters. See here, here is the caps lock key on the keyboard. It is marked with green color. There are two ways to delete character. Two buttons are there, two keys are there on the keyboard to delete the text or numbers. The first key is backspace and the second is the delete key. Again we can once revise this thing. Backspace deletes text on the left side of your cursor, whereas delete key deletes the text on the right side of your cursor. This thing you have to keep in your mind. Shift key. There are two shift keys which are used in combination with other keys. Some keys have special symbols marked on them. You can type these symbols with the help of shift key. Children, shift key already we have discussed in this chapter with special symbols, So children, I hope you will have no problem working with the keyboard. Now go to your computer lab and try working with the keyboard and explore its different keys. Here once again you can see the shift key. Children, I already told you that there are some keys on the keyboard which have two things written on it. 1 and exclamation sign. 2 and @ 3 and hash. 4 and dollar. If you want to write the numbers, simply press the keys, numbers will be written. But if you want to write the symbols which are written on the numbers, what you have to do? You have to press it with the shift key. You press shift and press 1 along with it. Exclamation sign will be printed. You press shift and press 2 along with it. @ will be printed. You press shift and press 3 along with it. Hash will be printed. Press shift and press 4 along with it. Dollar will be printed. So shift is never used alone. It is always used with in the combination of some other key. Now quiz time. Let us have a look how much you have learned. Here you have to tell how many alphabetical keys are there on the keyboard. So I'll tell you, there are 26 alphabet keys on the keyboard. How many number keys are there on the keyboard? There are 10 number keys on the keyboard. How many arrow keys are there on the keyboard? There are 4 arrow keys on the keyboard. How many spacebar are there? Spacebar is the longest key on the keyboard and there is only one spacebar on the keyboard. How many enter keys are there on the keyboard? There are 2 enter keys on the keyboard. Let us revise once again. There are 26 alphabetical keys on the keyboard. There are 10 number keys on the keyboard. There are 4 arrow keys on the keyboard. There is only one space bar on the keyboard and there are 2 enter keys on the keyboard. How many sets of number keys are there? There are 2 sets of number keys on the keyboard. This also you have to keep in mind. There are 2 sets of number keys. One on the top of the alphabet keys and one on the right side of the keyboard. That is also called as numpad. A few questions are there which again I would like to revise with you. How many alphabet keys are there on the keyboard? There are 26 alphabet keys on the keyboard. What is the name of the longest key on the keyboard? The longest key on the keyboard is space bar. This already you have studied in class 1. How many enter keys are there on the keyboard? There are 2 enter keys on the keyboard. Which key is used to erase the character from the screen? So backspace and delete. There are 2 keys which we studied in this chapter. Backspace and delete key. These 2 keys are used to erase the characters or numbers from the screen. How many enter keys are there on the keyboard? How many alphabet keys are there on the keyboard? 26. You can see here in front of this question there is a picture given. You can count it from here also. What is the name of the longest key on the keyboard? Space bar. How many enter keys are there on the keyboard? 2. Which key is used to erase the character from the screen? Delete key and backspace key. Children, this is all about this chapter. So just see this video 2 times. Thank you and have a nice day.